Anant Mahapatra stands as one of India's most eminent figures in theatre and film, whose illustrious career of over 6 decades has left an indelible mark on the cultural landscape of Odisha and the nation at large. A visionary playwright, director, actor, and thinker, he has written, directed, and performed in more than 100 plays that have become milestones in modern Indian theatre, rendering his creations both intellectually profound and artistically compelling. As the founder of Shrujani and the Utkal Rangamanch Trust, he has been instrumental in revitalizing theatre in Odisha. In recognition of his immense contributions, he has been honored with several prestigious awards, including the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, Jayadev Saman, and the Guru Kelucharan Mohapatra Award.
Today we are very much blessed with the presence of the legendary personality, Shri Anant Mahapatra ji. Namaskar, sir. Now I would request our Vice Chancellor sir to please felicitate our guest Shri Anant Mahapatra ji.
It's truly an honor and a moment of immense pride for all of us because FASCIS has the opportunity to host this special lecture by none other than Shri Anant Mahapatra, a towering luminary in the world of theatre and cinema.
Good morning, all of you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great tall personality with us today, and I am myself here. Not to lecture you, but to listen to him, the great film personality, writer and...
Last row, हाथ उठाओ, जो मुझे, can you hear me? Okay. But we have to observe the Dean's orders. Okay. I use this as the stage, so I think it is necessary. I must utilize the entire space. And for students like you, I have also an assignment which you have to interact with me. And that will be major part of my, I do not consider to be lecture, and I am very grateful that it is more like a function which I attended yesterday, Dhwani Film Festival. We lighted the lamp and everybody spoke for 2 minutes and then we saw the film. So similarly, I thought that there will be less, but Professor Rakesh Tripathi ji ne to itne sare kah diye. I also, when I told my daughter that I am going, and she said, what are you going to talk to 20 years? I said, do you remember my father? When I was 13 years old and had gone to Allahabad to study after my school, then I came back, went out, ran around all over the place. So my father said, at 13, if you behave like 30, what will you do at 30? I don't know, I didn't think. I said, I'll behave like 13. So 30 saal mein 13 ka. So I told my daughter, at 90, I can be as playful and naughty as the 20 years. Okay? Clap to that. All right, Professor Tripathi ji ne, when I said I was thinking of carrying about 10, 12 books to impress you that how well I know theatre, starting with In Search of Theatre by Eric Bentley and Stanislavski, all that names you will hear later. But the most important thing is I like Sri Sri. I remember J.D. Krishnamurti also, a very eminent philosopher, who had said, the reality and truth both are present. Reality is seen, truth is only felt. So theatre is that. It is seen, but it is also felt. I don't know if you people have ever heard, I'm sure Professor Tripathi knows. The Nobel Prize winner Dario Fo had said that theatre is the spoken newspaper of the people in a dramatic form. So that's what theatre is. And then it is also said, a nation is known by its theatre, which is again equally true. But if the nation is known as theatre, what is the Indian theatre? Is it the Sanskrit theatre that started all, if you follow Natya Shastra? Or is it the Hindi theatre in Delhi and little bit in Bombay? Is it the Bengali theatre? Is it the Marathi, Gujarati? Is it the Kannada or Tamil, Telugu? Yes, the answer is it like the Broadway or is it like the Shakespeare tradition of English theatre? Or is it French, Japanese, other European and Asian? In this context, I would like to mention, everybody talks about the Bengali theatre, but it was really the Russian-born Lebedev who introduced theatre in Bengali language in 1795. Can you think of 1795? How many decades ago? But similarly, the Bengali theatre also influenced the Oriya theatre in the sense that the Bengali zamindars used to bring these Bengali theatres to Cuttack to perform during the Durga Pujas and other times. And then, of course, from 1868 onwards, there was Bahubajar theatre, then there are a lot of zamindari patronage. Even Michael Madhusudan also started writing, and which was staged. And the Bengali theatre was also influenced by the English proscenium theatre. That's what we see today. It is the proscenium theatre that is there in England and Broadway and most of the places till today. So which is Indian theatre? Okay, if you want to know that if the Bengali theatre, which also started doing English theatre during the English period, because Calcutta was the capital of India. They went to Delhi much later. But during this process, in 1877, the first Oriya play, Babaji, was written, produced and staged at Bolanga Theatre. It's further away from Cuttack. Now it's of course not there. But I would say, if there is a professional theatre which stages every day, it is the Oriya Theatre. The Oriya Theatre, Annapurna A Group at Puri, B group at Cuttack, and later Janata Rangamancha, which had their own stage and they performed every evening. I had made a film in 1964, a play called Manik Jodi, into a film. And the Bengali technicians, director, editor, all of them said, "How can you make a play into a film?" I said, "This play ran for 360 nights at one stage in Cuttack." Just imagine. When we now talk about a film made 1,000 crore, but it costed them to about 400 crore to make that film. So if you are talking about economy, it cannot be augmented or attributed to only economic. That is why a theatre is like a poem which grows into words, into emotions, into sentiments, even makes you cry. This is a stage is part of the auditorium. It is not the stage alone. When I tell my actors while rehearsing that we enter the stage and make an eyeball contact with one person, and you will find all of them think that you are talking to them, to him, to her. The secret of a theatre is that it's the words or the silence. It's the song or the silence, or the music or the silence. Silence plays a very, very important role in it. And I very often say, even in my films, there's 50% of the time is silence or just effort of a sound, of a river, of any sign. I deliberately pause so that you can realize what silence means. Now, if you talk about the Indian theatre that you were referring to, if you want sometime, I'll come and talk to you as a lecture on theatre as such, because then you think that Vijay Tendulkar for Marathi, Girish Karnad for Kannada, Mohan Rakesh for Hindi, or Badal Sarkar, Utpal Dutt, Sabhu Mitra for Bengali. So the Indian theatre, if there is one, it is the regional theatre all over the country, which is again very rare, because as you see in Japan, the kabuki has been replaced. Previously it was just kabuki theatre. Or now in Korea, the Asian countries are now doing professional theatre. Of course, Badal Sarkar made a departure by putting up street plays, which was a novelty then. Just any street corner, the actors will come, people will surround, and they perform. Socially, politically motivated. Even in that context, I'll go back to 1941-42, when IPTA, Indian People's Theatre Association, with a first play by Khwaja Ahmad Abbas, in which Balraj Sahni played the main role. So the comparison of theatre is endless. It does not mean one lecture, it would mean series of lecture. But my point at this stage is that to make you aware, if you are interested to be an actor, Are you interested to be an actor? Please raise your hand. None? Okay. That's because you think acting is very difficult. But I have made a very simple chart. It takes you all the from learning like the alphabet A to Z. If you follow that, you can. Professor, you can distribute. Well, all of you say that I'd make it easier for you, that's why I typed out sheets for you so that we go together to learn our basic, like we started learning the alphabets. So similarly, we'll go through the alphabets because a play, a stage is not confined to one or two or dozen or hundreds of sentences. An actor has to prepare not only physically, emotionally, spiritually, emotionally, and what we are left, the moral part of it is also there. And it is also almost like a religion. It's like a prayer that you start every morning, and I'm sure all of you, that how important it is. Some students went to a rishi, a guru of gurus, and said that which teacher is very relevant for you to pay attention to this before you get involved with the dictionary. So the guru said, there are three kinds of people. Some who know very little but talk, argue, discuss. I've heard them. The second kind of persons are those who know something but are very reserved, reluctant, and they want to learn. So the guru said, find a guru for that person. And there is a third kind, with the people sitting in the front row. And they know everything, but they don't square about it, they don't talk about it. So the guru said, go to that person, and not Anant Mahapatra. Okay, you have got your paper. Have all of you got your paper? Vice Chancellor has got, so I presume everybody has got it. Okay, what is the first one? A. Okay, what does it mean? The actor is both a creator and a creation. Acting is the art of truth with imagination. To live as if we were real. The actor listens, reacts, transforms. Any question? It seems that all of you have understood. So you can take back as your homework and come back tomorrow with the answer, give it to Professor Tripathi and he will send it to me, and then I'll give you the marks. And maybe I'll give you a prize also. Okay, what is B? Yeah. Your body is the first instrument. Train it to be flexible, expressive, alive. Every gesture, posture, movement should serve intention and emotion. C. Yeah, the costume may clothe the body, but the character clothes the soul. Discover who your character is, their desire, their fears, their rhythm, and let the costume help you step into the world of this stage. D for which all of you seem to be lacking at the moment, or all of you are probably engaged in the dialogue. The talent without discipline fades away. Acting demands punctuality, presence, persistent. And dialogue? What does dialogue mean? Speak not lines, but the truth in the words. E for? But I don't find a lot of energy in you. Energy, I should say that you speak once again. Energy. Because the eyes reveal the inner world. They are the window to emotion. Your energy fills the space. It's the invisible current that connects the actor, stage, and the audience. Now, F for? Yeah, which all of you think you have, but you cannot show it if you don't perform properly. As you said that, दिखाने लायक भी नहीं है. So the face is a landscape of emotions. Train it, the muscle to express subtleties. A glance, a twitch, a smile can speak volumes. At this age, you are all looking at the other person's eyes, not at their lips, I hope. Okay, G for gait. How a person walks reveals who they are. I suppose you can imagine who I am by my walk and explore your character's gait. If you are strong, you march. If you are weak, you are feeble at your feet. Hands. Hands. What do you do? Many people, actors, when they first come, say, what do I do with my hands? Some try to put it in their pocket. Some try to fiddle with it and hide their fingers if they are not polished properly. Hands are storytellers too. They express the nervousness, affection, authority, grace. Let them move with intention, not habit. बहुत सारे हैं ना, you just when you start talking, ऐसे मैंने यहाँ मैं गाचा, but they forget that every motion distracts. It's like Guruji sitting there in a dance. You think that they are dancing all the time, moving all the time, but there is a rhythm, there is a purpose, and there is an indication what is coming now. Hands are very, very important and very, very difficult on a stage. That's why I'm holding a mic in one and paper in hand, so that you don't know how nervous I am. Okay, I for, which all of you must have plenty, but the actor's playground is imagination breathes into the script, transforms the mundane into magical, and fills the silence with subtext. S for silence. Okay, J for? Yeah. Joy, you know, you would like to jump out the moment I finish and rush and have you grab your lunch. But jest is something different. Find joy in the process of acting, not just the performance. Laughter, play, unlock the spontaneity. If I put my step forward, you must think, what's going to do next? I have three choices. I can move the next or can I take it back, or I can go back? So in one word, in one movement, you have shown three different kinds of movement. That's why go back to gait, the walk. Okay, now that K for, I don't have to tell you. All of you are so knowledgeable, you know everything. That's why you don't want to attend the class, because you know everything. No, know your craft. The craft, both for an actor, for a painter, for a dancer, for a musician, for a singer. Knowledge is a craft. Your text, your partners, yourself. Knowledge deepens freedom. If you know, you are not worried. You are capable of speaking anywhere, dance anytime, sing anytime, paint anytime. Knowledge deepens freedom. The more you know, the freer you are to forget. You know so much that you don't need the paper. Okay, now since I am looking at her, it comes to L. Looks. What does look? Where do you look? Look is only about beauty, but also your presence. If you are not there, nobody is going to look at you how beautiful you are. So your presence is your beauty. But presence, but how you appear on the stage, in stillness, in motion, in shapes, how do audience perceive the story? It's your looks. When I'm saying I'm afraid, your eyes, even somebody sitting 100 feet away will see it, because in film, of course, we go to a close-up. But in theater also, we create an illusion by fading out all the lights and keeping only one light, just your face, and maybe an eye. In one of my plays, I had used, when somebody is being shown the photograph, her face is closed, blank, stopped, but go in the fold, taken back, your looks, that goes and tells, are you afraid? Are you happy? Are you fear? Okay, now I think I hope I'm keeping the time. Okay. M for, which I'm sure all of you have excellent. At this age of mine, my memory seems to fade, but that's a process. You can improve both emotional and physical memory. Are tools. It's just not memory, but the emotional part of the memory. Okay, name. N for nerve. Courage is the actor's armor. Do you understand what is an armor? Armor means if you are using a sword or a knife or a bullet or a gun, or the armor that you, when you fight, go into the war, you put on an armor. So your armor is your nerve. How long can you act? How long can you hold your breath to be able to say a sentence which is non-stop for 1 minute, 2 minutes? That's the nerve you need to have. But at the same time, you have the opportunity or okay. Now you are looking at the paper more or looking at me more. That also will say that it is an opportunity or an obstacle. Looking at me will prevent you from reading, but looking at me will help you to understand what I am trying to say. Every obstacle, that's why, is a discovery. The best moment often arises when something goes wrong. Your partner has missed the cue. She was supposed to say, okay, are you coming? But she doesn't say. What do you say? Then you say, shall we go? That's also an obstacle made into an opportunity. P for which you do not have at the moment, I find. Okay, you have, of course, to be able to sit down and listen to me for almost 40 minutes. Is it 40 minutes? Yeah, without looking at a watch, I can tell you the time. Yes, that patience takes time. A role matures slowly like a performance. Trust the process, breathe, and keep showing up. That's what patience. You think you have heard it, but you have to go back, and that's why I made this, so that you can go back and come back to Professor Tripathi and say that, yes, sir, we have added some more into it. For M, I'm malicious. For N, I said, never again I'll hear Anant Mahapatra. Okay, Q. Q is, you must know your cue, when you have to enter, when you have to go back. And more importantly, you must listen. Listen. Acting is reacting. Your partner's line is your invitation to tell the truth. Unless it is like a mono acting or mime where you do not speak, but all of your action conveys what you want to say. Rhythm and rehearsal. Find the rhythm of your role, your scene, your company, and rehearsal is sacred. Without rehearsal, none can achieve. Forget about good perfection. You should ask the dean how long they practice before they put up a play or dance form. I normally take 2 months for a 1 hour, 30-minute play. And the first people said, sir, 2 hours every day for 2 months. I said, yes, then you will realize that you don't have to hear the prompting. You don't have to be told by the director, now go, now turn, now. So that's what is the most important, the rehearsals. S for, okay, all of you have enough of it, I hope. The spirit fuels the art, and what makes acting more than performance, it becomes a communion, a togetherness. What you act on the stage, the audience think they would have done that at home. T for, okay, all of you must have a target in life, but every line, every movement, every emotion must have a target. Someone or something is aimed at. Intention gives the direction. Okay, U for understudy. I think most of you people do not know what is an understudy. Is that when you are ready to step into a role because somebody is not coming or somebody is not competent, but you step in, adapt, and serve the story. Understanding comes from empathy. What is empathy? The opposite of sympathy. So in your heart you must have empathy more than sympathy. Sympathy is, oh, I'm so sorry. But empathy said, I share your feelings, your hurt. And that understanding tells the audience, oh my God, This man has suffered. Okay, and the most important, of course, all of you know, for V for victory, voice. That's all that matters ultimately. If your voice is not able to reach the auditorium and everybody must think that he is speaking for as I would have spoken, your voice is the melody. It's a train to convey color, power, emotion. Versatility keeps you ever, ever evolving. And W for? Which all of you lack, I suppose. Yes or no? I want an answer. Yes, you have wit and wisdom. Okay. Wit is intelligence in motion, ability to think, adapt, and sparkle in that one moment. That moment when you want to say, now go. Everybody must feel that, yes, I must run away before something is going to happen. All right, X. Do you know what is an X factor? It's there everywhere, every time, but unknown to us. That what the audience didn't expect, that which you never thought that is capable of communicating, that X factor happens on the stage every time in a creative process. Whether it's writing, painting, song, music, dance, somebody, you have to have that X factor, a little which is not expected of you. And why all of you must be doing it hopefully every day? Yoga, the body, the breath, the mind, a discipline that centers the actor, builds focus, opens emotional flow. And Z for Zindabad, where you should be happy, Zindabad, because it's going to end now. Zeal is the passion in action. It keeps the flame alive, even through fatigue, rejection, fear, failure, because the actor must create. Okay, I thought I have created enough of nuisance here, and it's time for all of you to say that in case you have any questions. If there is no question, it seems that I have delivered a very good lecture. But if there is question, I would think that I would have delivered a better one. I presume, since you are silent, that your lecture has been very good. Say, hip hip, hooray!